Ladies and gentlemen, listen, life ain't about impressing people. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Too many of y'all are out here telling everybody your next move, looking for approval, waiting on somebody to clap for you. But let me tell you something. Most people don't care, and some are even hoping you fail. That's why you gotta lock in, keep your mouth shut, and grind in silence. Your success ain't gonna come from talking, it comes from doing. So stop looking around, stop worrying about who's watching, and start putting in the work. If you stay focused, stay consistent, and keep your plans to yourself, watch how fast your life changes. You know what the biggest mistake people make? Running around telling everybody their business. Throws hands up dramatically. I see it all the time. You get a little idea in your head. You get all excited, and what do? You start running your mouth. I'ma start this business. I'ma lose 50 pounds. I'ma write a book. Mimics excited talking with hand gestures. And don't get me wrong, I love that excitement, that fire, that passion. But let me tell you what happens the moment you start talking too much. People start planting doubt in your mind. People start projecting their fears onto you. People start tearing down what you ain't even built yet. And let me tell you something, leans in with serious face. Everybody ain't your friend. Some folks, and I swear on everything I love, this is the truth. Some folks hear about your dreams, and in their mind they thinking, no, you ain't. Not because it's impossible, not because you don't have the talent, but because they can't see themselves doing it, so they don't want you doing it either. They ain't got the courage, they ain't got the discipline, they ain't got the grit to push through the struggle. And if they can't do it, best believe they don't want to see you do it either. And then there's the other type, the ones who smile in your face. Oh, that's nice, baby. Fake smiles and nods. But deep down, they hoping and praying you fall flat on your face, falls backward dramatically. Why? Because your success makes them feel like a failure. Your ambition, it exposes their laziness. Your hard work, it highlights their excuses. Your dedication, it makes them uncomfortable because it reminds them that they could be doing more, but they ain't. And instead of being inspired by you, they start looking for ways to bring you down. They start with the little comments. You sure you want to do that? It's risky. I heard most people fail at that. Oh wow, that's gonna take a lot of time. You sure you can handle it? And before you know it, boom, that seed of doubt gets planted in your mind. And that, my friend, is how dreams get killed before they even get started. Because some of y'all don't even realize the biggest dream killers ain't strangers. It's the people sitting at your own table. Let me tell you something. If you think I'm lying, just pay attention. Start leveling up and watch who stops calling. Start making progress and watch who gets real quiet. Start winning and watch who suddenly got a problem with you. Some of y'all think you got supporters, but all you really got is spectators, watching, waiting, hoping you slip. And that is why you gotta learn to move in silence. Lock in, stay focused, keep your business to yourself. Because let me tell you something, if you truly believe in what you're doing, you don't need approval. If you really want success, you don't need validation. If you're serious about your goals, you don't need applause, you need results. Let your success be the only announcement you ever make. Because when you finally do the thing, when you finally make it, when you finally prove them wrong, oh, they ain't gonna have nothing to say. In that silence, that is when you'll know you won. Instant to me, points finger, the successful people, the real winners in life, they moving in silence, like a submarine. You don't see a submarine coming. It ain't making noise. It ain't drawing attention. It ain't out here saying, hey y'all, I'm about to pop up. No. It's under the radar, locked in, focused on the mission. But when it surfaces, claps hands loudly there. It is don't announce, execute. And that's exactly how you need to move. You out here broadcasting every little move like you got your own reality show. Waves finger. Oh, let me tell the world I'm about to start this business. Hey everyone, I'm about to make big moves. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, ain't nothing happening but a whole lot of talking. Put your head down and work. Let your success do the talking. Because I promise you this, when you finally make it, when you finally do the thing, when you finally prove them wrong, those same doubters, they won't have nothing to say. Cups hand to ear. What's that? I can't hear your criticism over the sound of my success. Keep your plans to yourself. And let me say this loud and clear. Write it down if you have to. Keep your plans to yourself. Move in silence. Let them see it when it's done, because half of y'all ain't even doing the work. You just out here trying to prove yourself to people who don't even matter. Stop playing for the audience. Why you out here trying to impress everybody and their mama? Why you out here begging for approval from folks who ain't paying your bills? I see it every single day. Mimics typing on phone rise and grind. Hustling at 5 a.m., working while y'all sleeping. Man, listen, you ain't grinding. You ain't hustling. You just out here posting. Instead of actually working, you're busy taking pictures of your laptop at the coffee shop. Slaps hands together. What's next? You gonna post a selfie every time you send an email. Let me tell you something I learned in my 60+ years on this earth. Points emphatically real success. Don't need no announcement. Real winners ain't worried about impressing anybody. Real ballers ain't making no noise. Real ballers ain't making no noise. Their results do that for them. The loudest one in the room. Matter of fact, you ever notice something? The loudest one in the room cups hands around mouth like a megaphone. That's usually the one doing the least. Wipes brow, the one always bragging, always showing off, always talking about how hard they working. They're usually the broke ones. They're usually the ones stuck in the same place, because they're so busy talking about success that they ain't actually working for it. The real ballers, they locked in. Meanwhile, the real ballers, the real game changers, they ain't got time to be posting. They ain't got time to be showing off. They ain't got time to be proving themselves to nobody, because they locked in. Makes Focus face with hands, framing eyes. They focused, they moving, they executing. And when they finally pop up on the scene, ooh, there it is. Success, wealth, accomplishments. And guess what? By the time the doubters see it, it's already too late. They silent as a library. You ever walked into a library, pauses, looks around, ain't nobody in there yelling, ain't nobody making noise, ain't nobody showing off. But guess what? That's where all the knowledge is. That's where the power is. That's where the foundation for success is built. And the real ones, they know this. They ain't broadcasting their moves, because they too busy making moves. Because they know, when those results come in, raises voice, builds anticipation of work, that's gonna make more noise than anything you could ever say. Stop trying to impress. Start making progress. And you spending all your energy trying to impress people instead of progressing yourself. Shakes head dramatically. You worried about who's watching you instead of who's counting on you. You focused on how many likes you get instead of how many moves you make. Let me tell you something. Nobody cares about what you say you're gonna do. Nobody cares about your big plans. Nobody cares about your hustle posts. You know what they care about? Results. And the ones who truly make it don't waste a second explaining, justifying, or announcing. Stop talking. Start doing. Waves hands, stop explaining. Stop announcing. Just stay consistent. Put in that work. Mimics work in motion day after day, hour after hour. In the dark, when nobody's clapping for you. Because let me tell you something, lowers voice, gets serious. When you finally make it, when you finally reach that level, they thought you'd never get to. Those same folks who looked right past you, who didn't believe in you, who doubted you, they won't be able to ignore you. No more. Stands up straight, chest out, because success makes you undeniable. They won't give you time now, but watch how they check their watch later. You ever notice how the people who ignored you when you were struggling, they suddenly got questions when you succeed? You tell them your dreams. Ah, that's nice. Fake smile, dismissive nod. You try to prove yourself. You sure you want to do that? Raises eyebrow. But when you finally make it, looks at imaginary watch. Now they checking their watch wondering how you did it. Now they want to know your secret. Now they want to act like they always supported you. Shakes head, smirks. Ain't that funny? But here's the thing. It ain't no secret. It's just grind. It's just silent, consistent work. And that's why you gotta remember this pretends to write in the air, grind in private, shine in public. That's how the real winners do it. That's how you change your life. Why are you out here begging for approval from people who ain't even got their own life together? Confused expression. They ain't paying your bills. They ain't walking in your shoes. They ain't chasing your dreams. Yet you're sitting here waiting for them to validate you. Shakes head dramatically. You waiting for somebody to say, yeah, I think you should do it. Yeah, I believe in you. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all gonna die with your dreams still inside you because you were too scared to believe in yourself first. Stop waiting for approval. Nobody's coming to save you. I see it all the time. People sitting on ideas, sitting on potential, sitting on greatness because they waiting for somebody else to tell them they're good enough. Mimics waiting posture. They want to start a business. They want to get in shape. They want to take a risk, but they won't make a move until somebody else co-signs their dream. Like they need a permission slip. Let me tell you something. Leans in. Serious face. If you sitting around waiting for people to believe in you, you're gonna be waiting till Jesus comes back. Raise his hands to the heavens. Everybody ain't gonna see your vision, and that's okay. You ever try explaining a big idea to somebody small-minded? Pauses, shakes head. They look at you like you crazy. You sure about that? I don't know, that sounds risky. What if it doesn't work? Covers eyes dramatically. You know why they can't see it? Because God didn't give them the vision. He gave it to you. And let me tell you something. That's okay. Nods emphatically. Because the only person who needs to believe in you, points to chest, is you. That's it. Claps hands. Lets it sink in. When you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. The moment you stop looking for approval, the moment you stop seeking validation, the moment you say, I don't care if nobody else sees it. I see it. That's the moment your life changes. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. All you need is you. Because when you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. And when you finally make it, the same people who doubted you, smirks, they're gonna be the first ones asking, how'd you do it? Listen here, and listen good. Lowers voice, leans in. Some people ain't never gonna clap for you. Not now, not later, not ever. You could cure cancer, and they'd still find something to complain about. Oh well, now what's gonna happen to all those doctors and researchers? Shakes head in disbelief. Some people just don't want to see you win. Not because you're doing something wrong. Not because you ain't talented. Not because you don't deserve it. But because your success reminds them of their failure. Your growth, it exposes their excuses. Your grind, it highlights their laziness. Your progress, it makes them uncomfortable. And instead of stepping up their game, they'd rather sit back and hate. Stop seeking validation from broke-minded people. Waves finger, stop waiting for their approval. Stop explaining yourself. Stop worrying about who's watching. Because let's be real, most of these folks you trying to impress, they ain't even got their own life together. Points at audience. You out here looking for validation from people who can't even validate a parking ticket. Dramatic pause. They in debt. They ain't happy. They ain't chasing no dreams. They ain't got no vision. Yet you want their opinion on your life. Why? Shakes head. The only validation you need is from the man in the mirror. Focus on your growth. Your time is coming. Frames eyes with hands. Forget the doubters. Forget the naysayers. Forget the haters. Instead, focus. Focus on your growth. Focus on your grind. Focus on putting in that work. Mimics rolling up sleeves. Because let me tell you something. Your time is coming. And when it does, pauses for effect. Those same people who laughed. Those same people who doubted. Those same people who said, you'll never make it. They gonna have no choice but to respect you. They might not like you, but they gonna respect you. Stands tall. They might not invite you to their table. They might not celebrate your success. They might not even say your name out loud, but behind closed doors. Oh, trust me, they talking. Man, I don't know how they did it. I never thought they'd make it, but look at them now. I should have supported them when I had the chance. Smirks. You see, respect don't come from talking. It comes from winning. And when you finally win, you ain't gotta say a word. Your success will speak for you. Your time taps wrist dramatically. Your time is the most valuable thing you have on this earth. You can make more money. You can buy more stuff. You can replace your car, your clothes, even your house. But time shakes head emphatically. Once that clock ticks, once that second passes, once that day is gone, you ain't ever getting it back. Where is your time going? And what are y'all doing with this precious gift? Looks around with exaggerated confusion. Wasting it. Throws hands up, wasting it on distractions, wasting it on negativity, wasting it on people who don't even deserve a minute of your energy. Holds up empty hands. You're giving your valuable minutes to folks who ain't bringing nothing to your life. Think about it. You checking your phone every 5 minutes. For what? You scrolling through social media. For what? You gossiping about people who ain't thinking about you. For what? Let me tell you something. Time spent on nonsense is time stolen from your greatness. And some of y'all, you handing your time away like it's free samples at the mall. Here you go. Take some more. Go ahead. Waste my time. Shakes head in disappointment. And then you wonder why you ain't where you want to be. Stop giving your time to time wasters. You ever notice how some people are like leaky faucets? Drip, drip, drip. Slowly opens imaginary faucet. They drip away your energy. They drip away your motivation. They drip away your time. And before you know it, boom, you wake up one day 5 years older with nothing to show for it. And you thinking, where did all my time go? I'll tell you where it went. It went to people who didn't respect it. It went to drama that didn't serve you. It went to habits that held you back. Guard your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Listen to me. Your time is like gold. Would you walk down the street handing out gold bars to random people? No. So why are you out here handing out your minutes, your energy, your focus to people and things that don't deserve it? If they ain't helping you grow, if they ain't supporting your dreams, if they ain't adding to your life, then they are stealing your most valuable resource. And you gotta cut them off. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, serious face. Because if you don't respect your time, nobody else will. Let me tell you something. Leans in with serious face. Some people are draining you. Make sucking sound. They taking your energy. They distracting you. Mimics looking around frantically. They keeping you stuck in the same place you've been for years. You know exactly who I'm talking about too. Points accusingly. That friend who always got drama. That relative who always complaining. That person who always got their hand out but never got your back. It's time to cut them off. Makes cutting motion with hand. If they ain't helping you grow, if they ain't inspiring you, if they ain't pushing you forward, shakes head, they don't deserve your time. Instead, you need to invest in yourself. Points to chest repeatedly, read books. Mimics opening book, learn new things. Taps temple, improve your mind. Raises hands upward. Work on your craft, build your skills, level up every single day, steps up imaginary stairs. Because listen to me, gets quiet and serious. The time you spend bettering yourself today is gonna set you up for success tomorrow. Your future is calling you right now. Holds hand to ear like phone. Don't waste another minute on things that don't matter. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn in this life is that you can't take everybody with you. Spreads arms wide. Some people lowers voice. Some people are only in your life for a season. Makes circular motion with hand. And when that season is over, claps hands together. You gotta let them go. You think everybody's coming with you to the promised land. Shakes head emphatically. Now, that ain't how it works. As you start to grow, as you start to level up, raises hand higher and higher. You're gonna notice something strange. Squints eyes suspiciously. Some folks don't clap for you no more. Mimics weak clapping. Some start acting different. Turns face away dramatically. Some throwing shade. Makes shadow with hand. Some making you feel guilty just because you want more out of life. Looks shocked, and you know why. Points finger, because they were never meant to go where you headed. And let me tell you something. Leans forward seriously. That's okay. Growth requires separation. Pulls hands apart dramatically. If you stay attached to people who don't want to grow, who don't want to build, who don't want to elevate. Shakes head, they gonna hold you back like an anchor. Pulls down with both hands. So don't be afraid to outgrow people. Steps up. Don't be afraid to outgrow places. Steps up again. Don't be afraid to outgrow mindsets. Steps up one final time. Because the truth is, pauses dramatically. Your future is too big. Spreads arms wide to stay stuck in your past. Points behind what people think about you. Touches ears. What people say about you. Touches mouth. It is none of your business. Waves hands dismissively. Too many folks out here letting opinions stop them from chasing what's already theirs. Holds imaginary package. But let me tell you something. Leans in with serious face. Nobody's opinion can block what God has planned for you. Points upward emphatically. Some people gonna doubt you. Mimics talking with hand. Some people gonna criticize you. Makes judgmental face. Some people gonna say you'll never make it. Shakes head dramatically. You know what you need to do. Cups ear. Let them talk. Waves hand dismissively. Because at the end of the day, lowers voice. Their words have no power over your destiny. Sweeps arm across body. Your job. Points directly at audience. Your job is to stay faithful. Clasps hands in prayer. Keep working. Rolls up sleeves and trust the process. Makes continuous circular motion with hands. What's meant for you, points to chest, will come to you. Brings hands toward chest. As long as you don't let all that negativity distract you. Waves away imaginary distractions. I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your daddy said. I don't care what your ex said. I don't care what your boss said. Counting on fingers. God's plan is always bigger than their opinions. Spreads arms wide, so stay focused. Frames eyes with hands. Stay in your lane. Makes driving motion, and just watch what happens. Points to eyes, then outward. The same people talking about you today, gonna be asking for your E2graph tomorrow. Mimics signing autograph. Distractions are everywhere nowadays. Looks around frantically. Social media. Mimics scrolling on phone gossip. Cups hand to mouth drama. Throws hands up negativity. Makes disgusted face. And if you ain't careful, leans in seriously. These things will steal your time. Taps watch drain your energy. Slouches dramatically and keep you stuck in the same place. Year after year after year. Points to the ground repeatedly. You know what I notice about successful people? Raises eyebrows. They ain't wasting time watching what everybody else is doing. Looks around with exaggerated confusion. You know why? Points finger. Because they too busy working on themselves. Pounds chest. If you want to win in this life, holds up imaginary trophy. You gotta lock in on your goals. Makes focused face. With hands framing eyes. And cut out anything that slows you down. Makes cutting motion. That means less scrolling. Throws imaginary phone. That means less talking about what you gonna do. Mimics chattering with hand. And more actually doing. Rolls up sleeves and flexes discipline. Pounds fist into palm. That's the difference between just wishing for success. Makes wishing motion and actually working for it. Wipes brow. So let me ask you something important. Gets quiet and serious. Are you focused on your dreams? Points to head. Or are you letting distractions hold you back? Pulls backward with both hands. But you can't have both. Shakes head emphatically. You gotta choose. You wanna be distracted or you wanna be disciplined? Holds hands out like scales. You wanna be entertained or you wanna be exceptional? Raises one hand higher than the other. The choice is yours. Points directly at audience fixes. Jacket dramatically. Life is gonna knock you down. Makes falling motion. You're gonna face setbacks. You're gonna face failures. You're gonna face rejection. Counts on fingers. But let me tell you something. Leans in with serious face. Your pain is not the end of your story. Shakes head emphatically. It's the beginning of your comeback. Rises up with hands in the air. Every struggle. Clenches fist. Every no makes stopping motion with hand. Every moment of doubt looks uncertain. That's fuel, baby. Mimics pumping gas. You got two choices in this life. Holds up two fingers. You can let it break you. Collapses shoulders. Or you can use it to push harder. Pushes forward with hands. Get better. Raises hand higher. And prove to yourself what you're capable of. Pounds chest. The strongest people you know. Flexes muscles. They ain't the ones who had it easy. Waves hand dismissively. They the ones who turned their pain into power. Transforms from slouch to standing tall. They took every loss, counts on fingers. Every hurt break, clutches chest. Every disappointment, looks down sadly, and used it to build something greater. Builds with hands, so when life gets tough, makes serious face don't fold. Shakes head rise up, stands taller fight back. Puts up boxing stance, and show the world what you're made of. Pounds chest repeatedly, cause that pain you feeling right now, points emphatically. That's just your testimony in the making. Raises hands to heaven. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Pushes away from chest. Remember this, gets quiet and serious. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Salute, so stand up, straight, dry those tears, and get back in the fight. Take a moment right now, pauses and looks around, and appreciate how far you've come. Spreads arms wide. You've survived things that were meant to break you. Makes breaking motion. You've grown. Raises hand upward. You've learned. Taps temple. You've made progress. Steps forward. Be grateful for that. Clasps hands together. But listen here. Leans in with serious face. Gratitude don't mean settling. Shakes head emphatically. Just because you've come a long way. Stretches arms wide. Don't mean you stop pushing. Pushes forward with hands. There's more to achieve. Reaches higher. There's more to learn. Opens imaginary book. There's more ways to grow. Spreads fingers wide. Comfort is the enemy of success. Points accusingly. The moment you get too comfortable, mimics relaxing, you stop elevating. Makes flat line motion with hand. I see it all the time. People reach a certain level, and they say, I made it. Mimics celebration. Then they park right there, and wonder why life passes them by. Looks around confused. No. Wags finger. You gotta keep striving. Marches in place. Keep setting new goals. Places imaginary markers. Higher and higher. Keep chasing greatness. Reaches upward. Cause let me tell you something important. Gets quiet and serious. You didn't come this far. Takes big step forward. Just to come this far. Takes another step. And stops God didn't bring you through all that trouble. Looks back just for you to settle for mediocre. Shakes head. Success is not the finish line. Waves finger emphatically. It's just a starting point. Points to imaginary starting line. Too many people make it to a certain level. Raises hand to middle height and get comfortable. Mimics lounging thinking they've made it. Makes air quotes. But let me tell you something. Leans in with serious face. The moment you stop growing. Makes flat line with hand. You start falling. Drops hand dramatically. You gotta stay humble enough to keep learning. Bows head slightly. And stay hungry enough to keep pushing. Pushes forward with hands. No matter how much success you achieve. Spreads arms wide. There's always another level. Reaches higher. You think Michael Jordan stopped practicing just cause he won one championship. Holds up one finger. You think Beyonce stopped rehearsing just cause she had one hit. Shakes head emphatically. Now, the greats don't stop working just because they've won once. Snaps fingers. They wake up every day, like they got something to prove. Pounds chest. Not to others, but to themselves. Points to heart. I don't care how many zeros in your bank account. Counts on fingers. I don't care how many awards on your shelf. Points to imaginary shelf. I don't care how many followers you got. Holds up phone. You gotta keep your head down. Lowers head, keep grinding. Makes grinding motion. And never lose that fire inside you. Clutches chest dramatically. Because the journey doesn't end with success. Stops walking, it starts with it. Takes big step forward. When you truly great, you never satisfied. Shakes head. You always asking, what's next? Looks around eagerly, fixes jacket dramatically. That's the truth. And that's the survey says. At the end of the day, your success is in your hands. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do the work for you. It's on you to stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep pushing forward. No matter what. Stop looking for approval. Stop announcing your every move. Move in silence. Grind in private. And let your success make all the noise. There will be challenges. There will be doubters. But if you stay locked in, trust the process, and refuse to settle, you will get to where you're meant to be. So focus on yourself. Stay silent. Keep grinding. And when the time comes, let the world see what you've been building. Your moment is coming. Just make sure you're ready for it.